What's going on, fellas? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to take a look at the best values of week number 6, position by position. So, my rule of thumb is I usually like to stay under that like 6K on DraftKings range at quarterback, receiver, quarterback, running back, receiver. Tight end, of course, we're looking under like the 5K, 4,500 range. We're trying to find some real punt tight ends, under 3K if we can. It's a little bit tough this week, but we have a few that we can talk about. But yeah, we're going to go try to find the best values. Now, sometimes if there's some values at like 6,500, 6,700 that really stand out, we will talk about them because, we just want to play the best values possible on every single slate. And that's what I'm trying to do for you guys here on the channel. So let's jump into it here. We're going to go position by position. Like I mentioned, at quarterback, we will start here. And it looks like I want to start with Jordan Love. 6,200 here. What a matchup against the Bengals. Can easily go off. Now, the only issue with the Packers is who do you stack Jordan Love with? We never really know, right? You got Romeo Doubs out there. You got Tucker Kraft. You got Marcus Golden. You got Dontavian Wicks. You never really know who to stack him with, but I think you can kind of play Jordan Love just single and hope he throws 4 touchdowns. He throws it to all these different guys. Throws for 300 yards, which we saw against the Dallas Cowboys. You got Joe Flacco there for the Bengals now, who can keep up a little bit, I think, and get some of these pass catchers worthy of, making this game kind of close. So I think Jordan Love at 6,200 is a great play, starting this thing off with a great value right there. Then a couple of mid-price options. Daniel Jones at 6K. Cardinals defense is good, but the Colts offense is just firing on all cylinders. They are playing phenomenal. 6K for a guy that can run the ball as well as great. Drake May coming off that massive win against the Bills. Not a great fantasy output, but still almost threw for 300 yards. Didn't get in the end zone. If he's going to get in the end zone a few times here against the Saints, he's going to pay off his salary easily. We know he has that rushing upside as well, which he hasn't really unlocked yet. There's been a few games, 2 games over 30 yards rushing. Hasn't really unlocked that yet, so we're waiting to see that out of Drake May, but I think at 5,900, easy cash game consideration, great small field consideration. You can pair him with Steph Diggs real easily. I also mentioned a couple others like Trevion Henderson, which you can check out in the top stacks video on my channel. A couple other mid-range guys. Mac Jones here, I believe, will get the start over Brock Purdy, and you get a pass funnel defense in the Buccaneers, and you can easily pair Mac Jones with Christian McCaffrey, Kendrick Bourne. If Juwan Jennings or Ricky Pearsall are out, you can throw Jake Tunges in there. A lot of options you can do with Mac Jones there. Nice price tag at 5,600. With his output last week, 49 pass attempts, 342 yards, 2 touchdowns. That is not a $5,600 price tag. That is worth way more. So we get getting a discount in a Kyle Shanahan offense. Sam Darnold, 5,400. What an explosion game last week against that Buccaneers pass funnel defense that I just talked about for Mac Jones. Sam Darnold, a little bit tougher matchup on the road against the Jaguars this week, who have played good defense, but still, I think this game has nice stack potential on both sides. So I like Sam Darnold at only a $5,400 price tag. 2 other cheap ones I'll just throw out there for you guys. Bryce Young for the Carolina Panthers. I don't love it, but they do get the Dallas Cowboys defense, who has been bad, and they are at home. I think Tyler Huntley is worth a small look here. If Lamar Jackson is out, Rams defense is good, but we know Tyler Huntley can run. And at 4,500, you get some rushing upside, maybe get in the end zone once or twice on the ground. He's going to pay off that salary, so worth a dart throw there if he does get the start. This is a quick timeout to let you guys know that I've been a pro DFS player for over 5 years and have over $100,000 in career winnings. And now I'm giving away all my secrets, which you can check out at patreon.com/tdavisbrand. The link is also in the description below. It's going to give you a cheat sheet for every major slate of the NFL season. So Thursday Night Football, Sunday main slate, Sunday Night Football, Monday Night Football, all the major slates, whether it be Showdown or the regular classic slates, you'll have access to my cheat sheet, as well as access to my private Discord where you can ask me anything fantasy football related. And I also have a NFL DFS ebook, How to Win at Daily Fantasy Football. It goes over every strategy you would want to win some cold hard cash this upcoming NFL season. We talk about things like bankroll management, contest selection, how to win GPPs, cash games, etc. So sign up for the free ebook down in the link in the description below. Let's go to the running back position. Kyren Williams is who I want to start it off with here. A little bit higher than we'd like at 6,300, but for a workhorse bell cow back coming off a 32 fantasy point game, 10 targets out of the backfield. Ravens defense is atrocious right now, completely banged up. Kyren Williams is a great standalone value, both sites, 6,300 there. Rachaad White, I don't believe we'll see Bucky Irving again this week. I think they'll rest him another week. And Rachaad White got the full workhorse workload that we want to see when you get a backup running back. Price tag has elevated, of course, to 6K, but he's still kind of in that consideration to be able to play in cash games and smaller field stuff. Then you got Travis Etienne, 5,900. He has been phenomenal. A little bit of a down week last week against the Chiefs, but still 4 targets out of the backfield. You love to see that here. A game, like I said, against the Seahawks, I think has some shootout potential. Let's see what else we have. Rico Dowdle, once again, if Chuba Hubbard is out, how do you not play Rico Dowdle? Coming off 200 yards rushing insanity. Cowboys defense is bad. If we get no Chuba Hubbard, Rico Dotto is an outstanding value. One guy that I think is going to go overlooked here, a little bit under-owned. Antonio Gibson blows out his ACL. Ramondre Stevenson can't hold onto the ball. All he does is fumble. You got to think Trayvon Henderson is going to get an opportunity here to carry the load at some point, and we know he has that pass game capability. 3 targets last week. I think a game against the Saints where they can easily score points. Trayvon Henderson would be a nice cheap value, 5,200. I think tournaments only, but definitely worth consideration. Michael Carter was the full workhorse running back without Trey Benson and James Conner there. 18 carries, 51 yards, so not the greatest output, but 5 targets out of the backfield. Ran a bunch of routes. That's what you want to see. Tough matchup against the Colts, but the opportunity, the volume, and the workload is there. And then, of course, we have the Hassan Haskins, Kamani Vidal situation. I don't really know what to do in this situation. I'm kind of avoiding it for now, but at 5K, both these guys are worth considering. If you have a lean on who's going to play more, Hassan Haskins obviously goes back to his days at Michigan with Jim Harbaugh, but he's been more of a special teams guy, kind of a plotter, goal line guy. Kamani Vidal, I think, has a little bit more potential, a little bit more upside, a little bit more athletic ability. Maybe he can catch the ball a little bit more out of the backfield, but I'm taking a wait-and-see approach there. But if you have a lean in tournaments, I think they're worth, some dart throws at the cheap price tags. All right, let's go to the receiver position. I want to start it off with the guy that we're going to pair with Drake May. Steph Diggs here, 5,800, has really come onto the scene and exploded these last 2 weeks. His workload is up, and what a revenge game against the Bills. 12 targets, 146 yards, getting it done on all levels. And he's just going to keep getting better and better as the season goes on. The #1 receiver by far for Drake May. And you get an absolute smash matchup against the Saints there. Nice price tag for Steph Diggs, so I think he's going to get close to like a 7K price range throughout this season. A couple of the mid-range guys. You got Jacoby Myers, who I don't mind there for that tough Raiders offense, but you get a winnable game against the Titans. And then all the Chargers guys, McConkey, Allen, and Quentin Johnston here at 5,900. McConkey and Allen, 5,700, 5,600 respectively. All these guys are always in play every week, and you get a great matchup against the Dolphins. I think I lean McConkey, as what we saw last week, getting in the end zone, getting going. But Keenan Allen is always a safe play with a bunch of targets. And then Quentin Johnston, more of that big play threat for the Chargers. So I think all these guys have the capabilities to go off here against the Dolphins. As we head a little bit lower, Michael Pittman is a good spot here against the Cardinals. Cardinals defense is good, but Michael Pittman's just solid, man. He's just consistent. Seems like he gets 15 fantasy points every single week. Colts offense is firing on all cylinders. A great play there. Chris Olave on that flip side of that Patriots stack. Super cheap, and he's just getting the targets every single week. 11 targets last week. He's got at least 10 targets in 4 out of the 5 games. Only 5,100 still, too. His price tag just doesn't go up because of the Saints offense, but I think the Saints offense have been playing better. Big win against the Giants. I don't know. I love Olave again here at 5,100. If you get no Juwan Jennings, no Ricky Pearsall, or even if one of them's out, Kendrick Bourne again with Mac Jones at quarterback. How do we not play him at 5K there, coming off a massive 142-yard game? He'd be a guy I look at that 5K price range. Let's see, a couple other cheap guys there. I do like Juwan Jennings if he does play for the Niners in that pass funnel situation against the Bucks. And then one cheap guy I did want to mention here is Josh Downs at 4,300. Played well last week, 8 targets, 54 yards in that Colts offense. Like I said, that's been firing on all cylinders. Let's jump over to the tight end position now. Not necessarily a value, but how do we not keep playing Tyler Warren at 4,900? It seems like his price tag just isn't really elevating, and this guy's going to be 6K at some point. He might be, I think he's the 3rd best tight end in football. Of course, you got McBride, you got Ferguson, the 2 best, right now, right? And Brock Bowers, who's been banged up. But Tyler Warren is right there in that mix. 4,900, he should be, like I said, 5,500 to 6K. He's not. This guy just finds the end zone, whether he's throwing, he's running, he's receiving. I mean, he's just getting the job done here for the Colts. I'm going to try to play him on all formats, especially on FanDuel where, the pricing is not as tight. Hunter Henry here for the Patriots. A little bit of a tough week last week, but we know he has that great relationship with Drake May, that great rapport. He's been able to find the end zone 3 times this year. I think he's a good value in that easy matchup at 4,300. Jake Tunders for the Niners seems to have a good rapport with Mac Jones as well. 11 targets last week against the Rams. Pass funnel situation here, like I said, against the Buccaneers. And Mac Jones getting the start again. Love me some Jake Tunders at 3,700. Couple of cheap options too. David Njoku, Harold Fanning. They look pretty good with Dylan Gabriel. Matchup's a little bit tough, but the price tag isn't bad. Chigakonkwo there, basically the number 2 weapon for the Titans. They don't have major upside, but at 3,300, you don't need much. If he just falls in the end zone, he's going to pay off his salary there. Michael Mayer here for the Raiders. Brock Bowers looks like he's going to be out. Michael Mayer steps in, 3,100. I wish he was like 2,500, but 3,100 is not horrible to stomach there for a starting tight end that can have some fantasy output. And then the only other one I wanted to mention, two other ones I wanted to mention here. Isaiah Likely, if Lamar Jackson does return, and that's only if Lamar Jackson returns. I like Isaiah Likely at only 2,800. I think that's a good price tag for a guy that, you know, has a great rapport in the past with Lamar, can get it going. They need Lamar back to make that viable. And then Hunter Long for the Jaguars. Brenton Strange looks like he has a bad injury. He's going to be out for a while. Hunter Long kind of steps in. We've seen him have a decent game there in week 4, 3 catches, gets in the end zone. Just a punt option at 2,500. I know he will split time back there with the Jaguars. They have a couple tight ends they'll use, but I think Hunter Long is worth a punt consideration there at 2,500 at minimum price. Hope you guys enjoyed the best values of week number 6. Make sure you check out the Patreon down link in the description below for my best plays of the week behind the paywall, and check out all the videos for week number 6 here on my channel. Hey, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please go ahead and give this video a like. I appreciate it so much, as well as subscribe to the channel here on YouTube so you can check out all the videos that I have to offer.